Hey guys, okay, so this is chapter 3. We are starting lesson 3, and what you're going to do here is you're going to multiply decimals by whole numbers. Now just remember the essential question for this lesson is, well actually for this chapter would be, how can estimating be helpful? Okay, so keep in mind you can always estimate when you're doing these problems to help you see if your answer is reasonable or not. Okay, there are two goals for this lesson. The first one is to multiply decimals, obviously. And goal number 2 will be to annex zeros in the product. Annexing is basically a fancy way of adding zeros, and I'll explain what that means in just a moment. All right, so the best way to learn this is just to go ahead and do it. So this would be from page 100 and, I want to say 94, but I could be wrong. Either way, let me just give you a problem. 4 times 83 hundredths. Okay, now here's the deal, quite honestly. If the decimal points freak you out, you still get nervous or whatever, I get it. What you can do is just for the moment, just forget about it. Just leave it alone. Forget it's not there. Or forget that it's there. Just take it out. And just multiply like you normally would. Okay? So what's going on? Here's my whole number. And here's my quote-unquote decimal number, even though there isn't a decimal point, but it's okay. You just multiply. 4 times 3, 12. Carry the 1. 4 times 8 is 32. Plus 1 is 33. Carry the 3 over here. 4 times 0 is 0. Plus 3 is 3. All right. Now here is where you have to remember to put the decimal point back in. Okay, there it is. Okay. And honestly, all you're doing is you count the place values. 1, 2. 1, 2. And you have 3.32. And there's your answer. 3.32. Now, the question would be, why did we count those place values? Why are we putting, does it go down like this? Is it just because this is here and that's there? I just carry it down? No. Let's think about what you're actually doing. Remember, when you're multiplying, again, let me put this on the side. Just remember, multiplying is repeated addition. So how does that help you? All right, 4 times 0.83 or 83 hundredths, 4 times. And so what you're doing is you're adding it 4 times. It's repeated addition. Okay? And so what you normally would do is, well, if you're talking about money, here's your dollar side, your whole number side, and here's your cent sides, right? And you have 2 place values here. You're going to continue with that 2 place values here as well. Okay? So you add up the 3's. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 12. Put the 1 up there. 4 times 8 is 32. Plus 1 is 33. $3.32. So this is why you count the place values here and just put them back here at the bottom and just put the decimal point right there, because of the whole repeated addition thing. It's just, think of it, you're really adding it. So you have 2 place values here. You're adding 2 place values, adding 2 place values. You're going to keep up, maintain that 2 place value situation in your answer. Okay. Now, remember earlier I said you can use estimating to see if your answer is pretty close. Okay. If we were estimating, I'm going to keep the 4 as is. 83, pretty close to 1. I'm going to say 83 cents. That's pretty close to $1, right? 4 times 1 is 4, approximate. So if I were to estimate, the answer would be approximately 4. Okay. Now, it's less because here you used a whole number, a whole dollar. I was going to say money, but let's keep with the money situation. You used a whole dollar. And 83 cents is less, so of course your answer is going to be less. Okay? So again, estimating is a good thing to do to figure out if your answer is reasonable or not. Okay? But don't do 4 times 0. That's obviously it's not going to be 0. Okay? You have 4. All right, let me give you another example. 3 times 14 and 2 tenths. Okay, I'm going to go backwards this time. 3 groups of 14.2. 14.2. 14.2. And we already learned this when we added decimal numbers. You line up the decimal points, right? It's 14 and 2 tenths, 14 and 2 tenths, 14 and 2 tenths. The whole numbers stay with the whole numbers, and the parts stay with the parts, okay? 2, 4, 6, decimal point. 4, 8, 12, carry the 1. All right, 42.6. Now, I'm kind of going backwards. Let me see if the answer is pretty close. I'm going to say this is 3 times 14. What's the answer about? You're going to estimate here. What's it about? It's about what? 14 times 3 would be 42. You can check if you don't believe me. But let's do the actual math now. 14.2 times 3. And actually what I could do, here's my decimal point, so I look for that immediately. I look for any place values to the right of a decimal point. Okay, there it is. I don't see a decimal point here, I have a whole number. So what I'm going to do is, my answer is going to have a decimal point and one place value to the right. I'm going to have a tenths place value. If I did this right, that's what should happen. But let's see. Okay, now you just multiply like you normally would. Okay, 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. All right, one place value. One place value. There's my decimal point. So 0.6. 42.6. And guys, this really is all it is. So you write the problem, make sure you copy it correctly, right? In this example, I went ahead and estimated at the end to see if the answer made sense, right? 4 times 1, because it's pretty close to 1, gave me 4. And I reminded myself that this is repeated addition. Since this is a whole number, it's easy. I'm basically saying 4 groups of this. So 83 hundredths, 83 hundredths, 83 hundredths, 83 hundredths. 4 times. I add all that together, right? I keep the whole numbers with the whole numbers and the parts with the parts. The decimal point is just it's a placeholder, just to let you know that, hey, it's letting you know that you have 2 things going on. You have a part side and a whole number side. Keep it separate. Okay? 2 place values here, 2 place values there, and the answer will have 2 place values. Okay? See how that works? And we did the same thing here. Okay. We can do more examples, but I think you guys... Here's the thing. I tell my students in the classroom, if you can multiply and you can add, you can do this. Okay? And if you make a mistake, that's okay. If you're my student, you can ask me questions. If you are not my student, I'm sure your teacher won't mind if you ask him questions. Okay? So here we go. The second goal, annex zeros in the product. Annex. Just to remind myself, add. Okay? So let me give you an example here. 2 times 0.018. Okay, all right. There's my decimal point. 3 place values. Right? My answer is going to have a decimal point and 3 place values. I like to do this just to keep me in check, to remind me. In case I go too fast, I can always go, oh, whoa, slow down, bud. You forgot there's place values you have to add, and decimal point you have to add there too. So, all right, 2 times this. I mean, to have 2 groups of this, I'm going to add it, right? You're adding it twice. 8 plus 8 is 16. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. 0 plus 0, decimal point. 0 plus 0 is 0. Okay. Now, of course, let me do it. No, actually, my original impulse was to do it like this. You could multiply like that if I'm not comfortable with this. It's not something I'm used to doing. Usually I place a number with more digits on the top. This only has 1 digit. This has 4. So I'll put that on the top. Nothing wrong with this. If you can do it this way and you can keep it organized in your head, hey, do it your way. But I admit I'm not comfortable with it for me personally. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way, the way I've been taught. But And by the way, the order doesn't matter, really. 2 times 18 thousandths, I believe, 10s, 100 thousandths, or 18 thousandths times 2, you get the same answer, right? But here we go. And again, I'm going to take a little time here, so I don't go too fast. Decimal point. 3 place values. Let's see what happens. 2 times 8 is 16. Carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 times 0. 2 times 0. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 6, 3, 0. Okay. And what's going to happen? Not a 0 there. Not bad, not bad. And there you go. There's your answer. So where did I add the 0 to play it safe? I think, well, you know, I guess I had it there at the end, you know. Let me see if I can give you another example where this makes more sense. Although I think what I did here makes sense, but where did I add the 0? I just added them appropriately. The 0, some people might not add that 0. I do. It's actually more precise because you want to say, hey, I have no whole numbers. I have no whole parts. That doesn't make sense. I have no wholes. I just have pieces. Okay? And so if I don't put a 0 there, some people might get confused. Well, do you have any whole numbers? Is there anything else that should go there instead? The 0 is just a reminder, hey, the whole number's here. Okay? Let me give you another example. 4 times 0.012. Okay. Three place values. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And by the way, when you do the math, let's say you went ahead and did the multiplication first, you can always add it later to double check your answer. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the multiplication first to see what happens. Okay. Again, there's my decimal point. My 3 place values, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Decimal point. Let's see what happens. Okay, 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 0, 4 times 0. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Decimal point. So 0, 4, 8. Put the 0 there. Not bad. But if I want to double check, again, this would be 4 groups, 4 times 12 thousandths, 10s, 100 thousandths. 0.012, 0.012, 0.012. 2, 4, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 0 plus 0 plus 0, 0. Same answer. Okay, so I did it right. Whew. All right. You know, I know we really didn't add anything extra. I mean, I think you see all the zeros I wrote down were there in the beginning anyways. But there will be some situations where you'll have many more decimal numbers or decimal places than you have digits. And I'm trying to think of an example I can give you. But, you know what, let's just try something. Let's try something out here. I'll try this example. Because all it is basically, if there aren't enough decimal places in the product, then you have to add a 0 to make the decimal places fit. Okay, that really didn't make much sense. You have to actually see it. So I'm going to let me see if I can think of something that'll show this. 11 times 0.0000045. Yeah, let's try this. Of course, this might blow up in my face, but hey, you know what? I can make mistakes, and that's okay. Because if I make a mistake, I will learn from it. And I'll learn not to do it again. So times 11. All right, let's see what we get. Hope this works. 1 times 5, 1 times 4, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. And just to remind myself, right? And that goes here. Like, why am I doing that? Just to remind myself that the next row is going to go under this, and then I multiply all this again. Right? Little place value holder. 1 times 5, 1 times 4, 1 times 0, 1 times 0, 0, 0, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay. Here's my decimal point. How many place values do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's your answer. Okay. And that's pretty much it. Okay. I hope this helps. And good luck.